welcome back to another episode of Cavanaugh's Corner. I have a really great episode in store for you today. I finally got this in after waiting for it to come back in stock, and then a unforeseen weather delay. I finally got the Christopher Nolan collection, the 4K and Blu-ray set. It's a pretty big set, and I'm really excited to talk to you about it. I'm basically going to be splitting my review up for this box set into pieces. I'm going to review each individual film here. So there's going to be quite a few videos here, so you're going to get some extra content over the next couple weeks. But basically, we're going to start kind of in chronological order, not really. I'm starting with Batman Begins. I'm going to do The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, and then I'm actually going to do The Prestige, Inception, Interstellar, and then Dunkirk. So we're going to kind of go in chronological order, not really. But that's the way I'm reviewing this set, and I hope you enjoy it. So today, I'm going to be talking about the first movie I watched, which was Batman Begins. Now, Batman Begins was the intro of Christopher Nolan's legendary Dark Knight trilogy. Hands down, probably the best adaptation of Batman we've ever had. And Batman Begins is pretty much the only origin movie we'll ever need of Batman. Please, God, don't do another origin movie. Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins is, it's damn near a perfect origin story for a movie. There are so many little great things about that film. It's one of my favorite films of all time, not just comic book films, but just films in general. It's outstanding how it takes an origin story and tells it in a way where it's not, A, B, C, D. Christopher Nolan, of course, uses his trademark style to not only make it very entertaining, but he keeps you he makes you keep watching it, I should say. It's not told in quite chronological order, although basically the second and third act is pretty much chronological order. That whole first act goes back and forth between flashbacks. It goes all over the place, and I really enjoy the way the movie is. Now, this video, I'm going to review the actual 4K disc, not the movie itself. I love the movie, but it's more about the 4K disc. So all the reviews for this set you're going to see are all going to be for the discs themselves, not for the movie themselves. I love all of these films in here. They are all some of my favorite films that I've ever seen, but this is going to be about the disc. So what did I think of Batman Begins on this new 4K format? I thought it was outstanding. This is hands down the best this movie has ever looked. The old Blu-ray, which has been around now for quite a while, it was good, but it was pretty much the best we had at the time. This is pretty much the best we're ever going to get for this movie. It was shot all on 35mm. You have a 4K intermediate for this disc, so it is the purest you're ever going to find. The movie looks outstanding. I loved the way this film looked on this new 4K, especially with the HDR. The colors in this movie are so much more vibrant on the 4K disc than they are on the regular Blu-ray. I really loved seeing this movie in 4K. It really was another one of these movies on this format that I felt like I watched the movie for the first time all over again. Right from the opening shots, even the logo shot with the bats, that brown background. The movie really is like a brownish kind of earth tone. The whole movie is very much earth tones in this film. And I love the way Christopher Nolan kind of color grades the movies, whereas the first one is kind of brown, the second one has a lot of blues, and then the third one is more like white and black, like black and white. It's very interesting how he did that. I love the look of this movie in 4K. The scene where, near the beginning of the film, where Christian Bale is training. He's training to become, not really become Batman, but become a ninja, basically, with Ra's al Ghul. And that scene between Ra's al Ghul and I should say Ducard, he's not... The twist doesn't come until the second half. Spoiler alert. You've had enough time to see this movie. But the scene between Bruce Wayne and Ducard at the beginning, when they're on the ice, is almost like a totally different scene than watching it on regular Blu-ray. The ice actually has like a bluish-white hue to it, and it did not look that way on regular Blu-ray. I love the way that scene looked. The sound on this disc is also pretty outstanding. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that this set, Christopher Nolan did not opt to change the sound mix for any of these films. So there's no new Dolby Atmos soundtrack, there's no new 7.1 or 7.2 soundtrack. They're all just the original 5.1 soundtracks. And honestly, I don't see any reason for them to do any more than that. These movies sound outstanding. Some people felt cheated because there's no Atmos, but I'm going to be honest with you, it really doesn't matter. If you have a surround sound system, these movies are going to sound outstanding. And honestly, Batman Begins is no different. The sound mix for the original film, even on regular Blu-ray, was great. On this, it's a 5.1 DTS HD 5.1 mix. And I gotta tell you, that master audio is just, it's unbeatable. It is unbeatable. Hans Zimmer's score really, really just shines. And I loved seeing certain scenes now with this 4K disc. The scene where Wayne Manor is on fire is another highlight. That the flames have this orange and yellowish hue to it that, again, you just don't get on the Blu-ray disc. But the biggest thing I noticed on this new transfer of the film is that the dark levels, the black levels, I should say, in this film are truly what they should have been before. This is just outstanding in terms of darkness. It really does, the disc, I should say, really does a great job of differentiating blacks, like dark scenes from light scenes, and you don't lose anything in the scenes where there is darkness, especially the scenes where they're in the cave in this film. Man, I was blown away by how good they looked. Overall, if you can't get this box set, Batman Begins on 4K is definitely worth buying. It is a phenomenal, phenomenal 4K disc. If this is just what that movie looks like, I can't even wait to see what Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises looks like. Because the 35mm stuff, I mean, it looks great, but I can't wait to see what this format does for IMAX scenes. Now, one other thing I'll mention before we go is that for the first time ever in this box set, I'm not sure what it is with the single disc set, or should I say the separate set for the 4K disc, but this set actually has the special features for Batman Begins on the regular Blu-ray on a separate disc. This set as a whole has the 4K discs on one set, which all the 4K discs are just the movie, which I think is really the way to go. And then it has the Blu-ray discs with just the movie, and then it has another set with the special features on it. And for the first time ever, as far as I know, Batman Begins has its own special features disc separate from the movie now. So even the Blu-ray is just the movie, and then there's another Blu-ray disc with just the special features. And all the other discs before, the old Blu-ray discs, I should say, Batman Begins was just on one disc, and the movie, the special features and everything was just compressed onto that one disc, which I think is why that Blu-ray version did not look very good compared to this new version. Now, I will say, I didn't watch the entirety of Batman Begins on the new Blu-ray on this, but from what I watched, it really didn't seem very different. It may be a better transfer. I really couldn't tell, honestly. All I know is that the new 4K transfer for Batman Begins on the 4K disc was outstanding, and it's definitely worth purchasing, especially if you like the movie. It's outstanding. Anyway, that's all I have for today on Cavanaugh's Corner. Tune in next time for The Dark Knight on 4K. It's going to be a good one. Until then, take it easy.